So the athletes continuing to limber up for the men's high jump, which will be getting underway in the not too distant future. That is Charlie Grice, meanwhile, of Brighton, Phoenix, coached by John Bigg. The Scotsman Ross Matheson in the centre of the shot there from Lasswade. Tom Marshall from Cardiff AC. So 10 athletes will line up for this men's 1500 metres very shortly indeed. Among the other ones you can see just floating through the shot there, that's Frank Baddick of Newham and Essex Beagles, just in the yellow vest. The green and white hoops of Woodford Green and Essex Ladies, represented by Alex Cornwell. That's Matthew Fayers from Hillingdon, just limbering up down the far side of the EIS arena here in Sheffield. But Charlie Grice just behind Ross Matheson there. 19 years of age, the fastest qualifier. And as yet, none of the athletes in this final have the European indoor qualifying standard, which is 3 minutes, 42 seconds dead. 3:42 dead is the time that these athletes are going for. I've mentioned or seen Lee Emanuel from the city of Sheffield, who's actually now based in the USA, in New Mexico. He again will be a leading figure. He won heat number 2 yesterday. As I said, there was a bit of drama in the 1500 metre heats yesterday. Matt McLaughlin, who's had such a great start from Woodford Green and Essex Ladies, the 18-year-old, he fell in the heats yesterday. And Chris Warburton, who was actually the only one with the qualifying time already to his name, he was disqualified in the heats due to some interference. So he will either need to try and persuade the selectors to give him a discretionary place, but Warburton and McLaughlin not in this final, which opens the door for the top 2 if they can get themselves the qualifying standard of 3 minutes and 42. If you're following us on Twitter, by the way, it's @BritAthletics if you want to interact with fellow people who are watching this stream online, #Eurotrials. That is Lee Emanuel. There he is in the blue and yellow City of Sheffield Athletic Club. Just to the back of the shot there, we saw Rhys Glastonbury, Windsor, Slough, Eton and Hounslow in the red vest. So the athletes on the line then. Starter team are ready. On the right, that's Alex Cornwell for Woodford Green and Essex Ladies. Lee Emanuel for City of Sheffield. Ross Matheson for Lasswade. Charlie Grice in the white vest of Phoenix Club in Brighton. Tom Phillips, also of Woodford Green and Essex Ladies. Matthew Fayers of Hillingdon. Tom Marshall of Cardiff. Windsor, Slough, Eton and Hounslow's Rhys Glastonbury. Frank Baddick, also of Newham and Essex Beagles. So 9 athletes on the start line. Confirmation coming through of the 60-metre hurdles start list for later on, by the way. And Kylie Rebillard has made it through to the final in the end. She was the 8th and final fastest loser. So as we wait for these athletes to be introduced to the crowd here at the EIS, I can run through that 60-metre hurdles final and B final list for you, so you know who's coming up later on. The qualifiers for the 60-metre hurdles final: Hatton, Rebillard, Solomon, Miller, Claxton, O'Rourke, Drew and Hazel. That 60-metre hurdles final is at 8 minutes to 4. The B final: Lauren Thompson, Olivia Walker, Brogan Crowley, Jade Sermon, Danielle McGifford, Jahisha Thomas, Sandra Lawler and Jessica Tappin. That's just before 3:45. Confirmation 2 just coming through of the women's 3,000-metre start list. That due off at 4 o'clock. That's our penultimate event here at the EIS today. Our final event is at 4:15. That's the men's 400-metre final. But right now, this is the men's 1,500-metre final. And away they go once more after 7.5 laps. Leading them out early in the green and white is Alex Cornwell. Lee Emanuel just tucking in behind in third place. Ross Matheson of Scotland on the shoulder of the leader, and he will lead as they go out on their first complete lap. So 3 minutes and 42 seconds dead is the time that these athletes are going for, and hopefully they'll be carrying each other along. On the left of shot, that's the blue of Tom Marshall from Cardiff AC. Charlie Grice at the moment, just tucked in the centre of the pack. White vest, black shorts. 2 from the back. Just a little clip of the heels from Matt Fayers at the back there. So we said drama and all sorts yesterday as the 1500 metre heats started to hot up. Fingers crossed no drama as Lee Emanuel makes a bit of a surge. And again, it's all getting a little bit tight on that corner. Tom Marshall just leaning into the back as he trying to keep out of everybody else's way. But in the early stages, Ross Matheson from Lee Emanuel. Charlie Grice now has got himself out of trouble and on the outside as they run down the back straight. And when they come past the start-finish line this time, they will have 6 laps to go. Ross Matheson's personal best is 3:46.58 as Lee Emanuel takes it up. And again, it's just as they come past that finish line area and make the left swing, that's when they just have to be a little bit careful. And again, we're just seeing Marshall having just to be very careful on the inside as he either trod on the inside of the track or slightly got his heels clipped. But Lee Emanuel suddenly opened up a couple of metre gaps here, and he's laying it down to the rest of them in still these pretty early stages. Based in New Mexico, back in his home area of the city of Sheffield, as Fayers makes a significant move from the back of the pack and again nudging Marshall as he comes around. And again, it's Marshall having just to lean out his right hand there to ensure that he keeps his balance. Emanuel then from Fayers, who's moved up into second place. Grice and Marshall side by side in third. Then comes Cornwall in the green and white. As we go further back through the field, Tom Phillips in the maroon. Ross Matheson has faded towards the back of the pack at the moment. He's now 2 from the back, and at the moment it's Frank Baddick from Newham and Essex Beagles in the yellow who is bringing up the rear as they come past the black marker that says 3 to go on this occasion. 3:42 dead is the time, remember. They've been running for 2.5 minutes at the moment, and it's still Emanuel and Charlie Grice alongside him. Fayers on the inside. Now a move from Cornwell, moving up into third position as they try and sort themselves out. There'll be 2 laps to go here as they start to wind it up now. Coming down the home straight. Still, it's Lee Emanuel out in front from Charlie Grice. Then comes Alex Cornwell, Sayers, then Marshall, and it's Ross Matheson who's the one who's just dropped off the back of this pack at the moment. Baddick trying to make progress from the back in the yellow as Fayers just drops away now. Baddick making good progress down the outside. Keep an eye on him in the yellow of Newham and Essex Beagles, who kept himself right out of trouble at the back, but is now trying to make up the ground. When they come past us this time, there will be 1 lap to go. So it's Emanuel who's been leading for quite a while. He laid it down to them. Has he got enough left in the tank as they hear the bell? Lee Emanuel from Charlie Grice, 150 metres to go. Baddick, who was right at the back, as I say, has come through in the yellow of Newham and Essex Beagles. He's third. Fayers hasn't given up on the outside for Hillingdon as yet. Tom Marshall really digging in for Cardiff, but it looks between the leading 4 at the moment. It's still Emanuel. 3:42 dead is the time they're looking for. It's Emanuel from Grice, but look out for Fayers storming down the outside for Hillingdon. And Matthew Fayers has come from about 6th position, and he wins it. 3:47.76, very close for third. Well, Matthew Fayers looked like he was being left behind with a couple of laps to go, but he found something from somewhere, and Matthew Fayers of Hillingdon Athletic Club is the UK champion, and doesn't he look pleased? Well, the athletes around him, Lee Emanuel just punching the track in frustration there. He did the hard work from the front, handshakes all round, just 18 years of age, Matthew Fayers. It's a new personal best for him. We'll confirm the positions very shortly indeed. It was going to be a big ask to reach that indoor qualifying standard of 3:42, but another name to keep an eye on for the future, Matthew Fayers.